Oh no. Yo, our poor bastard. He's probably one of the most genuine characters who's not trying to build a harem. And unfortunately, he's not beating the allegations. He's always with a different one. Alright, so today we're going to be breaking down the final episode of Season 1 of The Beginning After the End. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, share your support, consider subscribing to stay up to date on all of this Beginning After the End content, and of course Patreon, full live reactions, and exclusives over there. Let us jump into this. So, when this show first came out, I heard a lot of buzz about it because it's a popular source material. So I said, oh, here's one of the popular shows of the season, we'll jump into it. Didn't really have high expectations other than, well, it's apparently a good story. And pretty quickly, we saw the production. There wasn't much movement. The art was pretty solid to me. I liked the art from the beginning. But yeah, it was very slideshow-y. It was not what you expected, at least given the buzz of how much people were talking about it. You're like, oh, we're gonna get like the next Demon Slayer or something like that. But here's the thing, is for like the first half of this show, I thought to myself, I literally said, like, I don't care if people hate this. Like, I find it enjoyable enough. It's an interesting enough establishing point for the story. But I gotta be honest, with how much the internet dogpiled this show, with how much I was indifferent to a lot of things about this show for the first half, I never expected to come out of the first season giddy as hell that we're gonna see more, but also truly excited for where everything's gonna go. And this is the internet. If you don't follow the crowd, if you don't follow the popular grifting point of the week, people will act offended that you don't agree with them. To that I say, there are select individuals who are just legitimately annoyed with the anime, like in a healthy sort of way. And to those people, I have no issues with them. To the YouTube channels who are just forcing themselves to try to stay relevant by attacking things every week because that's the only relevancy they have anymore, I have nothing but distaste for them, and it's really sad to see videos and stuff pop up where it's like, how did this get a season 2 when all these, and it's like, you can't be that ignorant. This was confirmed to be 24 episodes before it started. It just originally, it was gonna come, the other 12 were gonna come out in fall of this year. Now we know it's coming out next year. Which isn't a bad thing. I'm actually glad it will give it more time to cook, because if you look at this episode, I mean, I actually thought it looked pretty good. I thought the fights were pretty solid. But the thing is there's just so much negativity online, and not in a healthy way, not in a constructive way. It's just, this is dog shit, this shouldn't exist, and it's like, you know what I do typically when I don't enjoy things? I stop watching it, for the most part. I've had some fun baiting with these titles. I've made a lot of people think I was one of them, like the worst anime getting a season 2, but no, like this wasn't the worst. When people ask me, what is worse produced, this or the Newgate? I'm like, it's a deeply unserious conversation. You have shows that were legitimately stick figures that were dragged and dropped around MS Paint by the end of their production, and you're asking me a show that remained fairly consistent art-wise, even if, yeah, it did feel like slideshow animation at times. Like, be serious with your criticisms. And I think, honestly, at this point, they could come out with an Unlimited Blade Works level episode, and people would still dogpile it. It's just how it is. I thought this was a great final episode. I thought there was a lot of charm. There's a lot of establishing stuff that has me eager to see where the characters are going to go. I mean, they establish a lot of new faces that I think are going to be really fun to follow. One of these guys was raised by dwarves despite being human. If you tell me that kid's not going to be a raging alcoholic at a young age, I'll say you don't understand the dwarven mythical culture. You got this one elf boy who seems like an absolute douche nozzle. Some of his faces made me think he was pulled from Redo of Healer, I ain't gonna lie. I think the direction they'll end up going is he's a raging asshole for a good while, but then eventually he'll become a close ally. If not, he'll just be a complete prick the whole story. Arthur, now known as Note, so he's got a secret identity. His mask looks cool as hell. I love it. If you watch after the credits, we do another time skip 2 years out. There's a lot of fun stuff there, and they even managed to tie back to stuff that I didn't expect to see this season again, like our girl who's spying in on her crystal ball. I thought it was funny enough when she's like, oh, why is he adventuring with this girl? And then the fact that she adds the cherry on top, every time I look in, there's a new one. And I'm like, that is hilarious, because everything we know about this show is that it's not actually a harem. He's a one-girl man, but it is absolutely hilarious that they still managed to sneak in that harem comedy. And that's just glorious. It did exactly what it needed to. It tied off this current time period. Arthur's now a couple years in the future. He's now an adventurer, and he's an established adventurer. He's got notoriety. People know his name. They don't know his face, but they know his name about the masked hero, right? There's a lot to explore here. And truth be told, there was only a couple of moments in this episode that I thought, okay, yeah, they definitely took some shortcuts visually. And no matter what I say, and no matter how much I explain this, people will be like, are you blind? Like, people just want to be mad about this. That's not me. I enjoyed it. I criticized it when there was things to criticize, but if you're honestly looking at me and saying, oh, all these fire attacks and all these attacks, like, I was actually, like, I thought they were gonna go super, like, when our boy was going sword for sword with that instructor, like, I kept up with that. It was actually fairly well produced and competent, but it is what it is. Like, people, there's no reason for me to lie about my opinion on this series. I benefit in zero ways. I benefit more by grifting on this series and being angry and outraged and fueling that culture. But people want to hear what they want to hear. People want to live in outrage. And to the select people who are just legitimately disappointed, just normal, healthy, hey, I didn't like the show because of blah, 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 and not dogpiling for the sake of dogpiling or getting upset that other people enjoyed something that you didn't, you're normal, you're healthy, and you can exist peacefully. Unfortunately, you do naturally get lumped into the craziness of the grifters because, you know, everyone just assumes everyone's a weirdo anymore. But I do know the difference. I thought this was a great season overall, in terms of enjoyment. Not overall production. The production was very much average to below average depending on the episode. Art remained consistent, but overall production. But I like the VAs, I like the story, and, you know, ever since the show started, I heard, oh, it's gonna take like 3 seasons for it to get good. Which is weird to me because there's no story that's worth waiting seasons to get good. Either you like it from the start, or you don't, and you move on with your day. I enjoyed the show from the start, and as his life has progressed, I've enjoyed it more. And I've never really seen this discussed because I guess everyone's too busy bitching about the animation. I've really liked how many time skips they've done, but I'm interested if that's a common opinion or if people thought there should be less time skips. Because from what I understand, there is a lot in this show for the entire run. I think that's a great idea. I'd much rather see his entire life and skip past some of the bullshit, you know, slower details. So I'm excited. With how indifferent I was to a lot of the controversy surrounding the show for the first half, I'm surprised I'm actually leaving this season giddy as hell for a season 2. Shoot me. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the final episode of the season? Let me know. Leave a like and, of course, subscribe and ring that bell if you're new around here. And yes, Patreon, full live reactions and other exclusives, like I give a personal video shout out to all of my patrons. So we got Guyand123, Connor Reeves, Jorid, Jacob McDougal, Sage Narf, Andre Cannon, JMW, Tokyo, Adam Johnson, and we also have Sky Crown. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.